Okay, I used to be big into fishing. Big redneck miles. Big. And when I used to go fishing, I used to love doing it everywhere. Lakes, rivers, oceans, toilets. Used to catch all sorts of stuff. Sturgeon, pike, whatever I could catch. But recently, the only thing I've been catching is a catch 22. Episode 22, Daily Nourishment. The topic for today is going to be trying to make you more educated. You know why? Because I talk a lot about these fine dining topics. I think some of you think I'm just talking about out of my ass, which how'd you know? But I do wanna give you some more perspective. So I'm going to try my best as someone who's eaten in fine dining and has worked in fine dining to explain fine dining to someone who has never eaten in fine dining. Because I think you'll be able to appreciate some of the stuff I'm explaining to you more. I think a great comparison to fine dining versus having a nice meal is like going to an art gallery. If you go to a contemporary art gallery and you see those grand paintings of like the Renaissance era where you'll see like grand battlefields or you'll see like huge portraits or you'll see like beautiful landscapes. These are pretty easy to appreciate because you go, wow, I could never paint that. That's insane. How did they do that? And that's something you can often get when you go to a really nice restaurant. You can often get ideas of like, how did they cook this? The seasoning is incredible. And it just seems amazing. Right? When you look at those kind of artworks in a museum, they instantly gratify you. It is kind of instant gratification just seeing the colors, the grandeur, all that. But then let's say you go into the modern art space where you'll see abstract colors, you'll see the all white paintings, and you'll see maybe all black paintings. And at first you'd be like, why the hell are these here? I could paint these. What are they doing here? And that's what I think a lot of people think fine dining as well. They think, why am I spending all of this money for something that isn't super filling and isn't the best food ever? I think the reason is because you have to reshape your idea of what you're going in for. When you're going to an art gallery, when you're going to a modern art gallery, you might not be looking for the most beautiful thing, but you might be looking for something that's more influential. You might be looking for something that provokes thought. And that's the same idea with going to a fine dining meal. When you go to that meal, it might not get you the fullest. If you want to get the fullest, go to a buffet. Why are you going to a fine dining meal expecting to get full like a pig? If you go to a fine dining meal, expect your ideas about food to be changed. I think this is why fine dining is kind of a finicky subject for a lot of people. They don't understand why someone would spend that much money, especially on something you're just going to eat. But the idea of it being is that you have that memory of that dinner to share with others for years to come, for the rest of your life. If you take notes or take pictures, you get those too. And the flavor at the end of the day is just kind of the momentary thing, but it's the memory and it's the experience that you'll keep for a lifetime. It's like when you go on a roller coaster. If you go on a roller coaster, you're never going to experience that fast, that quickness ever again. But you had the experience of it once and you can share it with others and you can keep it to yourself. And that's the beauty of eating too. Because it's not a permanent thing and also because it's limited to actually having to experience it, it makes it unique to you because you taste things differently than other people. Everyone's seen the Mona Lisa, and yes, seeing it in person is different than seeing it online. But saying that I've seen the Mona Lisa doesn't have that same effect as saying, like, I've been to this and this restaurant, because that restaurant cannot serve indefinite people. Everyone could see the Mona Lisa because you could look up an image of it and you can get a comparable experience. But looking at plates of food rather than eating them is not a comparable experience. And that's why it's super unique. And that's why it can charge an exorbitant price. I want you to think about fine dining not as just something that's expensive and has the best ingredients. I think fine dining at the end of the day is just food that's taken really care of, and it's food that's meant to make you think about food or about other things in a particular way that just eating might not. Fine dining is not about just getting the best meal of your life. It's about getting a meal that changes your ideas of what constitutes a meal and what constitutes an experience. That's the episode for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.